This protest is coming few hours after a meeting between the federal government and the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC), which ran from late Monday the 7th of January into the early hours of Tuesday, the 8th of January 2019. According to the NLC, the protest is expected to commit all parties to the implementation of the 30,000 naira new minimum wage.
In every state, our workers will go to the doorstep of the governors. Let them tell their workers and their pensioners and their family what is their standpoint on the 30,000. When the 18,000 minimum wage was implemented in 2011, in fact, inflation actually dropped. We have statistics from National Bureau of Statistics that have pointed to this fact, that there is no correlation between increase in minimum wage and inflation.
In Abuja, the protesters were at the Federal Capital Development Authority, where they had hoped to meet with the FCT minister, but met his absence. The Jigawa state chapter of the NLC also joined in the protest march. The chairman of the union in Jigawa believes that state governors can pay the proposed amount if they cut down on their spendings.
Every Nigerian knows that once our state governors cut down on their habit of wasteful spending, there will be more than enough funds to pay workers the new national minimum wage of 30,000.
In Kaduna State, members of the NLC gathered in the state capital, where they insist that no threat from government can stop them from a shutdown if government fails to pass the national minimum wage into law.
We are only pressing home our legitimate demand, which the Labour Act gives us, that after every 5 years there will be a wage increase. And this is almost the 7th year now. Our patience has almost been exhausted, and by this sensitization, the next line of action is to shut down everywhere.
The Taraba state chapter of the Nigeria Labour Congress took their protest to the government house, Jalingo, where the NLC chairman presented a copy of their protest letter to the secretary to the state government.
We can no longer continue to watch things being delayed. Federal government should expedite every effort to see that this demand is submitted to the National Assembly for onward passage to a law for it to be implemented in Nigeria.
There is victory for us, victory.
The protests in Nasarawa state had a low turnout, but they were received by the head of civil service in the state, who assured them of the state government's cooperation.
Our governor has never shied away. On different forums, he has said that when the new minimum wage is approved, the state will pay it. And I think that we have not deviated from that position.
The protest also held in Sokoto state. Despite the claim by many state governors that they will be unable to pay the current 18,000 naira minimum wage, the Nigeria Labour Congress insists that all states can pay the proposed 30,000 naira.
Similar protests took place in other parts of the country, including the country's commercial nerve center, Lagos. Our correspondent Loretta Chiogo reports.
Organized labor pushed through streets across the country in a peaceful rally over the non-implementation of the new minimum wage of 30,000 naira. The organized labor union, organized private sector, and the federal government in the tripartite committee had ended a meeting in 2018 declaring 30,000 as the minimum wage after several deliberations. Workers in their numbers chant solidarity songs with their placards stating their demands. In Bayelsa State, in the South-South region, workers marched to the government house where they are assured that the government would pay the minimum wage of 30,000 naira. It is same assurance in Edo State, also in the South-South region of the country.
I assure you here on behalf of the executive governor of the state that the state government will go ahead to implement.
In Oyo and Osun states in the southwest of the country, the action is not different. Workers demand immediate implementation of the 30,000 naira new minimum wage.
This is the right time, because Nigerian workers have been used, and then we are now wise. Our politicians make us to be wise. So before we can cut our vote for anybody, we will know the person is going to take care of our interests. It will make the workers' budget into their budget.
Workers in Lagos marched from Maryland to the seat of government in Alausa area of the state. They distribute flyers to sensitize the people of a planned strike if an agreement is not reached between the labor union and the federal government.
You all know for the past 2 years we have done negotiation of minimum wage, which tripartite committee came out with 30,000 naira minimum wage. The bill has been submitted to the federal government, which was received by the president himself. So our expectation is for the president to transmit this bill to House of Senate, House of Rep. Up till now, nothing has been done.
The labor union had met in Lagos on December 31st, 2018, announcing its readiness to resume its suspended strike if the new minimum wage is not implemented, while rejecting further meetings over the matter.
Nigerians go to the poll in February, but for these workers behind me, it is not a time to vote in any politician who is not on their side.
The earlier peaceful rally turns chaotic as workers are prevented from entering the government office by the police. On the other side, our camera captures the governor's convoy pulling out from the office from another gate. News of his absence angers the workers. They are placated by the leader to allow the governor's representative receive the letter containing their demands for onward transfer to the National Assembly. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.